Okay, I think we're getting there. Awesome! Yay! All right, guys. There's something about me. Whenever I see my people, then I get so bubbly and excited. That's your boss, Katie. Oh, it's good to see you, Katie, and welcome. Okay, people. So time check, 7 minutes past 6, and this is Candid Chats with Jackie. My name is Jackie Hansen, and you're welcome to today's edition. Today we'll be discussing all things HR. Well, not all things. We will attempt to discuss all things HR. Yeah. And there's a question on my mind. That's what actually sparked this very edition of Candid Chats with Jackie. And so we'll be getting into those details. And to help us understand everything we need to know is my pastor. See, guys, the whole of Ghana, there's only one pastor in the diaspora. But for today's purposes, right? Today he's going to I don't think he can ever stop being a pastor. But for the purposes of today's conversation, he is in his full HR gear. So pastor is in the corner. It will come through in one or two times. But today on Candid Chats with Jackie, he is a senior HR professional. And recently, he's been, I don't know if it's been an award or, but I know that now when he writes his name, he adds CSP aside the SPHRI. So, yes, my guest is Joseph Ajete Ajay. He's a senior HR professional with the Ghana Ports and Harbors. So, salute, senior professional HR. And welcome to Candid Chat with Jackie. I'm just so excited. Please pardon me.
Thank you, Jackie.
Welcome.
I hope you can hear me.
Very well, loud and clear.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
So you're welcome, sir.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on this special edition of I don't know, it's Candid what with Jackie or something. I've forgotten the name of the program, but
Yeah,
that's
a
fine.
candid chat with Jackie. Hey, you have a lot of fun. So someone is saying that's the swag on pastor,
Yeah,
whatever that means.
so
I salute. Yeah. Okay, so guys, you're all welcome. You're all welcome. So we'll be getting into the conversation soon, but there's a question on my mind. And since we have the senior HR professional here, we want to ask him. There's a popular opinion that says that HR professionals are mean people. Today, you're speaking for all HR professionals in the world. And so we know that you'll be coming correct. Tell us, are HR professionals mean people?
they say experience is the best of all the teachers in life, and so I think most of the people who have this perception about HR professionals either must be saying it out of experience, or somebody says something about a professional to them, an HR professional to them, and they've carried it along. But Jackie, you and your listeners here, some of who I happen to be an HR person in their lives, will be the best people to say whether the experience we've had so far is that which could be described as mean or not. But I think HR are the best of friends you can have, provided you know what the rules are and then you stay within line. That's all. We HR could be the best of friends you could have at a workplace.
Well, some people also say HR is not your friend. So, I mean, there's that temptation to go to the HR's office to pour your heart out because you can't there's what we say that even on emotional intelligence, for me, I don't even believe that emotional intelligence is actually a thing. I think it's something we just say to get along, to get through the day, because I feel it doesn't exist. Because how do you separate the same person who is doing the job? How do you separate your emotions from your work? I feel it's a fallacy, and I'm entitled to my opinions, I guess. But
Okay.
as HR people and as employees, there's that temptation to go to the HR manager or the professional to pour your heart out. Sometimes it could be you're struggling with work and you need to pour your heart out for them to understand where you find it. You could be going through a difficult season and your mind may not be in the best of places. So you need sometimes to pour out to him that maybe I'm getting late to work for this time because I'm going through this and that and that. And you never know when and how they may use it against you. So on this basis, would you say that HR is not your friend? Because that's what people say, that HR is not your friend.
You see, so as you said you had issues with emotional intelligence,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
that exactly is even the answer to what you are saying, because people must appreciate that as a human being, your emotions are paramount to your very being and what you do. And being emotional intelligent is becoming aware of yourself and your emotions and having also the ability to control yourself. Yes. And so if you are emotionally intelligent, what it means is that you have some level of self-awareness. You know what your triggers are. You know what could push you to the other end. And so in your interaction with your people or the world and other stuff, you intelligently manage these emotions so that it doesn't cross certain lines. That is why we are saying every human being needs to be emotionally intelligent. But Jackie, I must tell you that on the issue of this HR professionals being mean and other things, I must say that HR has evolved over time. And it used to be personnel and administration in some organizations, and today we are calling it human resource management, managed by human resource managers. It's a very critical part of the world of business or the corporate world, where you have some professionals who lie in between the employee and the employer, ensuring that we are deploying the human resource, which we see as the most valuable of all the resources at the disposal of an employer. We are deploying these human resources to be able to achieve the organization's goals. And because of that, we have expectations of both sides to manage. HR people are not welfare chiefs or union heads and other things. We ensure that organizations, rules, and regulations that all of us have agreed to when we decided to get into that contract of work, we ensure that each party is playing their role as is required of them. And because of that, sometimes you hold people by the rules and you ensure that they do the work. Every human being wants some level of liberty and freedom to do what they like. And so if there is somebody out there whose job is to ensure that rules are followed, because naturally people don't like to follow rules, these people are going to be seen as people who are kind of strict, who are kind of tough and other things. But you need the same people also to put money in your pocket so that the bills can be paid.
yeah.
Yes. And so I think also the human temperament also comes in when it comes to dealing with this particular profession. The human temperament comes in. I am confident and I'm very sure that a few people have had engagement with in line of duty and work will not have the same kind of experience or expression about HR people. I think with the people I've encountered so far, they will think of HR people as the best of people in the world, the place of work. I am confident in that one, unless somebody comes online to tell me that I dealt with the person in a way they didn't like, because they are mean people. But I think so far, it's been good so far. HR has evolved from pushing paper and being the police person at the workplace, making sure that nobody crosses the line and other things. HR has evolved to understanding people and knowing how to use people as a resource to achieve organizational targets. And if you want to put undue pressure on people, you want to treat people in a way that they will not like. I'm not talking about people who just want to break the rules, but people who even want to do the right thing. You want to create the environment which is congenial for them to be able to work within that same environment without fear nor favor. In the long run, the organization must achieve its targets, and then the person is also well compensated to pay the bills at home. And so we have a difficult job of keeping people on track. And that is what sometimes comes across as people not being very nice people. But I think by the end of this discussion, that perception will change in a lot of people's minds. HR, I think we are some of the best people you can say. I think.
That's okay. In fact, from what you shared, I think that it's HR, being an HR manager should be sometimes quite a difficult place to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Having
it
to
is.
be in between
It is.
management and then the employees, it can get difficult.
HR is a difficult one because you are not managing machines where there are spare parts you can easily pick and fix. You are not managing robots who do not have emotions. You are managing people. And anytime you come across an individual, you are not only even dealing with the individual that is in front of you, you are dealing with the whole being, the past of the person, the experiences, even the future, the kind of things the person has gone through before coming to work in that day, the kind of biases the person has towards certain things. You are dealing with so many things in one person, in one being, and you need to be up and on top of your game to be able to appreciate the wholeness of a human being before you can be able to manage them effectively to do their work. Those people who forget that anytime you come into contact with people, you are not just dealing with the person standing in front of you in terms of body, but you are dealing with the person's soul, you are dealing with the person's interest, you are dealing with the person's emotions, you are dealing with what the person experienced yesterday at home. If the person was coming, maybe driving road rage, all sort of things you are dealing with in one person. And you need to be skilled and professional as such to be able to get the best out of the people. So it is true, Jackie, it is no joke dealing or managing people who sometimes cannot manage themselves. It is no joke.
That's a sad truth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Not forgetting the fact that the HR person himself is a human being. Well,
I tell you.
I guess you win on
Also,
this one.
also having his emotions or her emotions at
Yeah.
play. At the same time, the conflict here and there, all those things are at play. And at the end of the day, the ultimate is that the job must be done. And it must be done in a way that will leave both parties better off than the job they were when they started the work in the first place.
I think first and foremost, I'm getting a mindset change about the HR profession in the sense that thank you for making me appreciate my something about what I said earlier about emotional intelligence. I think my perception has been skewed, and thank you for that. So now let's get into the business for today. But before that, Florence is saying interesting. She's never seen HR role from that perspective. Thank you, Florence. Yeah, I guess you owe some thanks to resource person today. But getting into today's business, the big question on the table: should I quit my 9 to 5 and start my own business? If I should, what is the right time to do that? I have saved some money, so I'm thinking of getting into business to be going to China and picking goods and coming to sell and things. When is the right time to do that? Should I even do it at all? Should I leave my 9 to 5 and then pursue this dream of mine? Tell us.
So, Jackie, and your lovely listeners and viewers, the first question I would like to pose out there, which we will address in the course of our discussion, has to do with why people work at all. Why do you work? People work
Okay,
for
so tell us in the comment section, why do you work?
maybe yes. Yes, it will be interesting to hear from people to know why they work. And if we get to appreciate why we work, I think it will help us in the choice of what we do, or whether we do a 9 to 5, 8 to 5, 9 to 4, or we run our own business. I do not want us to limit the conversation of the 9 to 5 to the hours of work, but we are basically talking about being in the employment of another person, working for somebody else other than yourself.
Right.
If somebody else is your employer, if somebody else happens to be the one who has hired you to get a job done for them so you are paid, that is what we are referring to as 9 to 5 here. And starting your business has to do with doing something for yourself, being in your own employment and working and paying yourself. So these are the two issues we are looking at now. I had to bring this clarification because when it comes to the hours of work, I must tell you that we spend more hours at work when we are working for ourselves than the 9 to 5. That is the truth, and that is the fact a lot of people in business will tell you, that when you are working for yourself, most of the time you don't even have the time you start work and the time you close. I happen to live with my wife who is doing her own business, and I appreciate the fact that I have time that I start work and the time that I close. And when I come, because perhaps of my role, I may have to get involved with work one way or the other through my phone or my laptop or something, my computer or something. But then I find people call in 24/7 trying to transact business with her in the house, no matter the time of the day. And it's not like you have any time you are saying you are calling it quits, you are done for the day. And so, if it's about the hours of work, for those of us who want to get the cues to go and start our own businesses, to start working for ourselves and paying our own selves, I just want to give you this wonderful news that it is not about the hours, because you're going to do more hours when you start your business than you are doing perhaps at the corporate world of 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or something. So let's start from here. If we have, I've seen some people trying to give responses for the earlier question.
Yeah.
If you can help us with a couple of them so that it will shape
Okay.
our conversation.
Let me read some.
Yes.
Okay. Christiana Roxon says, I work for financial independence. Abba
Okay.
Mainsma said, to make life comfortable for myself, financial independence. Florence Erekwa says, for fulfillment, knowing I am able to use my skills and knowledge to solve real life issues. And she also says to earn the cash, which is very important. But for me, I work because at the end of the day, the money, yeah, it's just the money. That's why I'm working for someone. Yeah.
So
Because let me
if
say,
yeah.
yeah, I found that whenever I'm not in 9 to 5, I'm able to focus my energy, my time in developing things that I like to do. So I have something I will call a side hustle, my voiceover gigs. I focus my energy in promoting it so much, but immediately I enter 9 to 5 or the corporate space, then I relegate all those things to the back because I get consumed in my 9 to 5 that I forget about my personal side hustles. How about that?
There's a reason, or there are reasons why, if you are working for yourself, you are able to release all your energies, all the antennas are active to get the results you want because you are clear in your mind what you are looking for and where you are going with this whole thing. You do not want to be called a failure or something. You need the cash to get the bills paid and other things. And so it is only normal for one to see somebody working for his or herself, putting in all that, as opposed to putting in hours in your place of work, where we call 9 to 5 for the purposes of this discussion, where your job is cut out for you, and then you know what the job needs. Sometimes you just want to stay within the rules. You don't want to go any extra to get anything done because there are other people there who should be able to do other parts of the job. But you see, reading the comments that we have here, people need the cash. People need fulfillment. People want to deploy their skills and knowledge to solve real life issues and other things. If this or these are the reasons why people work, then my question is, does it even matter how you get your money? Whether you are working for yourself or you are in somebody else's employment, does it matter? If you are working 9 to 5 elsewhere and you can get all these things achieved for yourself and still live a well and a very good and meaningful life, doesn't matter whether you are working for yourself or you are working for somebody else. I think it doesn't really matter. The issue is about finding purpose. The issue is about finding purpose, which, for the sake or the purpose of this discussion, I will refer to as job satisfaction. Doing the job that you love to do, giving it your all, and seeing the outcomes as you expected, and then the benefits that you accrue alongside. At the end of the day, balancing the equations, you realize that you are happy with yourself, you are happy that you got a job done, you are happy that some money is in your pocket. This one, you can get it within 9 to 5, and you can also get it with your own business. And the reverse of this is also the case, that you may not get it there, and you could be doing something for yourself, not 9 to 5, and you may not also get that satisfaction that you are looking for. So it comes back to the same thing. Does it really matter? And are all of us wired to be able to work for ourselves?
I was coming to that.
Yes, that is it. Are all of us wired to be able to work for ourselves and gain the income that we want or something? Or some of us must necessarily be in other people's employment and make a mark there, impact lives there, and do other things. And so you see that their question is changing a bit. Whether it has to do with 9 to 5 or you not even having working hours, working for yourself, and getting everything you are looking for while you are working. If you get it through 9 to 5, that's fine. If you get it all by working for yourself too, that is fine. Let me just share a little story with you. It will give us some perspective. I don't want to sound as though I am pushing the frontiers of 9 to 5.
Okay.
But then I want people to know and understand that there is a lot of value in working for other people. If
How is that?
apprenticeship is anything to go by, we learn from other people so we can do our work better or the best way that is possible. So if you are an individual who has any plans of being your own employer in the future, I just want you to know that working for yourself also demands skills, experience, and other things that do not come to us just by the fact that we say we want to work for ourselves. We must train, we must learn, we must adjust, we must adapt to systems so that in their application, when we are working for our own selves, we will know and understand the ropes. Then when we get there, the errors of yesterday will not be repeated. And so I will recommend that even if we want to work for ourselves, if there is any avenue for us to learn the ropes, how things are done, let's take advantage of those ones. Let's learn. And then when we come to our own, we'll be able to apply them judiciously. When I got into my new job, where I am now with GPHA, I had the opportunity of traveling on maybe, let me say, an official trip with one of our authorities' drivers. In our conversation, I realized that time GPHA was giving out the opportunity for people to retire voluntarily, early retirement from work. And so at a certain age, you are given the opportunity to put in some resignation letter, and you'll be well compensated for you to be able to go. And I know he's interested in the discussion. He wants to also be part of that.
Please give me a moment and let me attend to this. Short, I'll be right back.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, Messi. Hey. Come here, come and do your hair for you. The internet is on Messi now. Please, I'm sorry, I'm back.
No, that's fine. So this gentleman told me that, sir, I have the opportunity to just retire and then go and do something for myself. We had quite a lengthy discussion because our trip was a long one. And I realized that this was somebody who was just following the crowd because opportunity had come. There was good money in there. People were taking it. And so he also wanted to take it so that he could go and start something for himself. But in our discussion, I realized that this guy qualifies to make that money, but he doesn't have what it takes to put that money to good use, to secure his future. And staying in the employment 9 to 5 would have been a better option for him because somehow the system had put measures in place to ensure that if he had attained that age of retirement, at least he would be better off at his pension than now going to start something all by himself in a discipline or in an enterprise he had little or no knowledge about. This guy didn't listen. And the story or the end of the story is as good as your guess. Today, there is so much regret. What I want to tell people is that it's good to be daring. It's good to have that entrepreneurial thing inside of you, that drive, that passion. But go or pursue this particular course from the place of information, from the place of knowledge. If you have what it takes, you understand the terrain, and you are moving in there with some knowledge, it will be easier for you than otherwise. Let me end this one here. Maybe the follow-up questions will open other avenue for us to be able to discuss more in detail. Why people go to work perhaps 9 to 5 and they don't like it there and then they want to jump out. Perhaps it's something we need to explore and understand why some people don't like the 9 to 5. Yes.
Yeah. To find out, the very first episode of Candid Chats with Jackie we had it with a guy who was audacious enough to quit his 9 to 5 job and go into his own business. For some reason, he's doing very well. He's doing very, in fact, he had opportunities with big brands to stay working as a 9 to 5, but he left. So would you say that it's what kind of gamble would it be to leave your 9 to 5, especially when you even have security, to say that I'm leaving this and I'm going to pursue the unknown, because you don't know what's going to happen when you go. But
Yeah.
what kind of gamble will that be to say that I'm confident enough to leave this and pursue that?
It's a very big one. The gamble is big. I wish whoever that individual was had told all of us the full story. But I can tell you that there should always be a time for preparation before we launch out there to do things for ourselves. You mentioned security.
Yeah.
You mentioned security. If you are in a 9 to 5 employment, you are getting paid. The security of your job is assured and other things. And you still have that drive inside of you to work for yourself because you cannot always be doing yes, massa, yes, massa. So you also want to be at a place where you can also impact more lives than you are impacting with a 9 to 5. It's a fantastic something. But all I want to say that in as much as it's a good thing endeavor for you to embark upon, go prepared. Go prepared. Again, learn the ropes. Seek to understand what the world of business is like. Charlie, the business world out there is not a friendly terrain. The game is played according to some rules, most of which are unspeakable. But there is nothing better than working for yourself. There is nothing better than somebody holding something on your neck for you to get a job done, for you to be able to secure your pay at the end of the month. It takes a lot of risks. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of determination and the wherewithal to be able to succeed out there.
Yeah.
As like I said from the beginning, you may find working for yourself even more engaging in terms of the hours, your time and everything, than even the 9 to 5 that is putting food on your table today. But the question is that, are we all wired to be able to work for ourselves? I say no. I say no.
Agreed.
Yes, I say no. Some people naturally, by whatever means, whether it is by some divine orchestration, would be good employers. Others will also be very good at working for other people and still achieving their life's goals and targets in this life.
What about those who wake up every morning, go to work for other people, but are not happy? They can't seem to find satisfaction. They're not happy with the conditions, the working conditions. But because there are no jobs, right? Because jobs are, let me say, because jobs are hard to come by, they have no choice but to stay there. and they are not happy. Meanwhile, they have maybe some talents they can actually groom to become something, to become profitable. What can you say as words of encouragement, or even a mechanism, a coping mechanism for these people to find some satisfaction, if there be, so that they can at least cope throughout the day, and then you go home, you come back the next day, and you move.
Exactly. I perfectly agree with you. The truth is that a lot of people, especially in our country, are not happy with their jobs. One of the key reasons is that people are not doing what they love to do. A lot of people are in some form of employment just because they have to make ends meet. And if they had their way, those jobs wouldn't be the kind of jobs they would want to do. If you find yourself in such a situation and you have another passion, you have another skill, and you have the patience to grow that passion and grow that skill with the support and help of the community, I mean, the few people you have around yourself who could be of come in handy for you when you need them, then I will tell you that change jobs. Not necessarily, perhaps following that passion, but you can pick another elsewhere whilst you nurse and nurture what you really want to do. And then when you think you are ready, you have the little capital, you have the little skill, knowledge, you have the experience a little, you've gathered pieces of advice from people who understand the terrain and they are willing to support you, then the transition can take place and then you move to that place. Because also of the fact that most of the youth and even some adults today are not skilled. When they get to the place of work, they are forced to do what they are given to do, not what they want to do. So most of the time, you find square pegs in round holes.
A lot, yeah.
Yes, out there. These people will complain forever. Not because perhaps the money is not good, but because they are not enjoying what they are doing. That is not the kind of thing they want to do. There's also another reason why a lot of people are not happy to work 9 to 5. That is not to say that when they jump and they want to start something for themselves and they go and take this job, that same job they are doing for somebody that they are not happy about. If they go and take the same job because they think they've gathered some experience out there and so they can go and do it, because that is not what they are wired to do. That is what they are skilled to do. It's not that that is not the kind of passion they have. They will go in there too and not be successful.
You saying then that the grass is not green on the other side?
Not necessarily as people put it. Not necessarily as people put it. It has its own pros and cons, just as this side too. But like I earlier on said, there is nothing like working for yourself. It is the best if you find the proper domain where you want to do something that you're happy about. Look, if you find yourself in a toxic environment where things, you go to work, you wake up on a Monday morning, and the next thing that comes to mind is, when is the week going to end for me to have another Saturday to myself? You go and you're always watching your back. You are afraid of a supervisor somewhere or a manager somewhere who is like a headmistress or headmaster in quotes, as we call it in our local parlance, holding the stick to your head, wanting to destroy you. You have work colleagues who are mean, who are not nice people, environment full of gossip and backbiting and other things. Nobody thrives in that environment. It is also one of the main reasons why people are not happy at work. And
Yeah.
for those people, I'll tell you, save your own life and get out of that environment. If you could do something
Run,
for
oh.
yourself and earn even a little, I would advise you to move out because your life is at stake. You may not survive to be able to make the money to be able to even do something for yourself if you continue staying in such an environment. Lifestyle diseases are all over the place, killing people. And so,
So
please,
please tell us,
yes,
in your perspective, from your point of view as an HR person, how toxic can a work environment be?
the work environment can be extremely toxic, especially if you are working for people who are not emotionally intelligent. And I must go a bit blunt on mostly the entrepreneurs, the private business enterprise. Some of the people out there have not taken their time to learn how to manage people. And they think it is automatic. Once you have people working for you, you have what it takes to manage them. They are not willing to invest in professionals to handle certain aspects of the businesses. The way they treat people, as if people are not people enough. The work environment can be very, very toxic, and people have developed all sorts of diseases because of such things. In environments where rules don't work, policies are absent, and decisions are based on discretion. I like your face, I don't like your face. In such environments, the level of toxicity is so terrible. It will be better you work in an environment where there are rules, there are policies, everyone is speaking to what the rules say, and there are rules guiding behavior in there, and so nobody crosses the line. You work in an environment where people are not dealing with issues, but they are attacking people's persons.
Yeah. Yeah.
All these things make the environment so toxic. You work in an environment where you don't even know your future, your growth, how it's going to be like. You always go to work grumbling. You have a particular skill to do a particular thing. You take a job, and then when you take the you took the job, you go in, went in there. Somebody else is doing what you are cut out to do, so you are forced to do something else. You end up doing something that you are not passionate about. All these things, including other things. People working and not getting paid on time. Yesterday I heard somebody had worked, and as at December of last year, from December 15th thereabout till we are speaking, they haven't even received their December salary, let alone talk about January. How are the bills
Yeah.
going to get paid? All these things make work environments not conducive and congenial enough for people to work within. If you find yourself in such a space, I tell you, if there is opportunity for you to get out of that environment, to save yourself, to be able to start something for yourself, if the means is there, I would advise you that the earlier the better.
Yeah.
This is not to say that there are no good jobs out there. I can tell you
Oh, are there?
there are very, very, very good jobs out there that are paying better than self employed jobs, paying better, and people are having the opportunity to do what they love to do. People are having the opportunity to impact lives they want to do. In the long run, it is why I am working. If
Yeah.
I find it in 9 to 5, hallelujah. If I don't find it in 9 to 5, and I'll find it in doing something for myself, then the options are available for me to choose from. And so In as much as
Not so bad after all.
it's not so bad after all. It's not so bad after all. In as much as, in as much as my objectives and my reasons for getting employed are being met, whether 9 to 5 or working for myself, please, it's about my peace of mind. It's about being able to get the bills paid. It's about living the life that I want to live with no strings and other things attached. That is the most critical thing. But I tell you, if somebody also has fed you for so long, it is only good that when you have the opportunity and the wherewithal, get out to start something or even stay in there. Start something alongside this one. It's called side hustle. Is that not what you call it?
Yeah.
Stay in there. Start something. Also feed other people. Perhaps in that you will find that satisfaction that you are not getting here, but you are getting the money to be able to pursue your personal agenda or personal interest elsewhere. So you get it here and then you use it here. The important thing is for you to be able to maintain the balance, making sure that you are fulfilling all responsibilities as required of you. And you should be fine for now. Yes, you should be fine. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And please help me make meaning and some sense in this. I I don't believe in, okay, I want to be very careful in saying this now. There are certain people who would stay at one place of employment for like as long as they can because you don't want to go out there. You don't know what to because you don't know what to expect on the other side. You the oh dear, this girl.
It's
The you
understandable.
are
Everybody understands.
you are careful not to go because you you are scared. What if you go and the other side is as worse? So you are forced to stay in that place. What do you have to say to
Okay,
people
it's
like that? Because you
called,
don't
it's
know.
called the fear of the unknown.
Right.
Once you decide to stay there, it will continue haunting you for the rest of your life. Why?
The struggle is real. Please, I'm back. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. Why stay there? It's called a fear of the unknown. And if you entertain that feeling or that fear, you may never be able to attain the kind of freedom you need to attain in life. You must take risks in life.
Yeah.
And you must know that every risk you take, because it's risk, it comes with consequences.
Yeah.
You are not happy, but because you are afraid what will happen. Who says there's something there? Perhaps there is nothing even there. Perhaps where you are going is better. How would you know whether it is good or bad if you don't make the move?
You would never know.
Matters is the timing.
Yeah.
What matters is the timing. That is why in your life you need to be able to get people who can advise or guide you in terms of your career. Some of these business decisions, a lot of people have gone ahead of us. And so we don't go in there as inventors or people who are going to be the one who are going to bring this thing out of non-existence into existence. Somebody has done it before. Read the stories of other people. Speak to people. Get advice, get guidance, and take the step. Look, I wrote in my notes when I was trying to prepare for this that you see, In this life, if the suffer thing comes a bit, everybody has been created in this life for a purpose. And you must find that purpose. In our world of work, I will call it that thing that gives you that inner satisfaction. Sometimes it is not about what you have or what you don't have, but that thing that you are so passionate about that gives you satisfaction, whether the money is good or not. Pursue it. It is going to be that thing that will lead you to the next level of your life. Purpose must serve humanity. If that thing that you are pursuing is going to influence life positively, please go for it. There is nothing like holding on to tomorrow. Start now. In fact, start today. Take the bold step and start something. Start something for yourself. Like I'm saying, yeah.
Please, someone is asking, how do you find purpose?
Yes. Finding purpose, you can find purpose first and foremost by listening to your inner self. We must develop the habit of sometimes getting out of the noise, all the pressures and other things, having some me times for ourselves, and think through our lives, being guided, I would say, by God, to find those things that make you relax. You do with little or no struggle. Something that the joy may not necessarily be external of you, innate, intrinsic kind of motivation, desire that is in you. You find yourself doing so many things that a particular thing when you are doing, you find that there is peace. Your mind, your body, your soul is at rest in there. Pursue it. There could be purpose in there. Speak to counselors, people who are skilled as such, people who are more experienced, people who have traversed the road that you are yet to go there. Speak to people and get counsel, and it will help you. Above all, as I said, you need to discover that thing that does not only impact your life, but it serves other humans to make their lives better. Pursue that particular thing. In there, I'll tell you, you'll be satisfied. God being your help. And that
Right.
you have found purpose. That you would have found purpose. I think so. You would have found purpose. Start now. Don't wait for tomorrow.
Don't wait.
Don't
Yeah.
quit
Don't wait.
because you have to
Don't wait.
quit. This whole idea of side hustle, Charlie, if I have any other means of drumming it into people's spirit for people to understand that it's a good thing, find something aside what we are doing now and pursue it. If you go in there and you are not happy, try something else. Keep trying and trying and trying. As you are trying, you are training. You will get to that point that you will arrive and you realize that things will take shape. So you get from here to build this place. And let me tell you, when you grow that business up to a stage where you can live without what is coming from the other side, then it's time to call it quits.
Yeah.
Yes, then it's time to call it quits. I'm earning 100,000 cities annual salary here. I get a job, and the job is giving me maybe 200 cities today. If I divide the 200 cities by the 100,000 and I get something like whatever, 50,000 or 5,000, whatever, 5,000 or something, how long can I keep doing that particular 200 cities job? Or what quantity can I do to be able
Yeah.
to match up to that 100,000. If I find a trick and I divide that 100,000, which is annual, by 12, and I'm able to do that thing that can give me the 12, that is the monthly one, then I know definitely in 12 months I should be able to hit that 100,000. It's time for me to give it my whole energy and say bye to this side. Because when I give it my whole energy, I may even earn more. Because this time I was sharing my time with this other job.
Exactly.
So it must be something that you plan. You don't wake up one day and say, I am tired. I am this. I am this. I saw somebody put something there that my mental health is at stake. Yes, your mental health is at stake. But that is why you need to get other forms of support. If you are not getting that support for your mental health from the workplace, get it elsewhere. Prioritize your personal life and the things that are good for you. This is where I am getting my money. The environment is toxic. My mental health issues are at stake. If I jump out today, my situation is going to get worse because I cannot foot the bills. But is there any other avenue where I can get support to be able to navigate these uncharted waters for some time before exit? Get help. No one is the repository of all knowledge. Get help. And when you get that help, they will help you to be able to maneuver this difficult phase of your life. I just want to tell everyone listening to me that the difficulty that you are encountering, for which reason you think just jumping out is the best of options. It is no cheaper or easy out there either. It's challenging. Let me tell you that that difficulty is only a phase of your life. PHASE is only a phase. And if you give it time with effort and God's help, that season will pass. And you will count it as one of your experiences, which you will need for future challenges that may come up tomorrow. And so, please, let's teach people to plan, not only with our jobs, every endeavor, every enterprise that we want to get into. Let's not just get up one day because other people are doing it. The truth is that a lot of people come to show us things on the screens, but they don't tell us the true stories behind. Until you find out, you push, you wouldn't know. A lot of people have seen struggles before getting to where they are today. Let's talk to them. Let's share in people's experience. Let them share with us. And then we take cues
How they
from
did it, right?
and plan, and then we move. And I tell you,
I think that's a good time. Please go ahead. Please end your statement.
come again.
You were saying something, and I
No, I said if we do that and plan and then we time our movement very well and we do it strategically, I can tell you that it will be better. But if you don't do it well, if you don't plan, you don't get counsel, you don't get advice, you are not guided, you do it just because you are following the crowd, please, you cannot blame anybody if things don't go the way they are.
good. It's a good place to just say that not all side hustles have to be buying and selling. You may have a talent, you may be good at writing, you may be good at offering a certain kind of service. You can also go into it and you would make money. Sometimes we are conditioned to believe that side hustles are all about selling. I cannot sell to save my life. I can't. But I can do something else. I can offer a certain service and then I can make money from it. So not all of
You
us
can be
can
talking
sell.
to
Not
me or other people like you are doing now as a side hustle, and it will grow and you monetize it and you make it big. Discover that thing which you do with little or no stress. Think about it financially. Render that service having the business acumen to do it. think of it from the perspective of business. It's not just about buying and selling. Whatever it is that you want to do, something you're passionate about, get help and think of it from the perspective of business. That how can I do this thing meaningfully and still make money out of it to get the bills paid? And you will definitely have answers and it will help you to get something. Because the terrain of this buying and selling thing now is getting choked. Now, all of us know how to get to Temu. All of us know how to get to Alibaba. All of us know
Right.
how to get onto the market on the screen. So you can't go and buy there and come and tell me that you are adding your interest or whatever it is. I will go and buy from them too, and they will deliver. So it is not,
Clock it.
yeah, it is not just about that one. There are other things.
Yeah,
There are
yeah,
guys on
yeah.
campuses who were trained with reading books upon books when they were young in their homes. They were forced to read and other things. This is the time you find yourself on the uni campus or wherever. This is the time to make money with your reading. People are doing project work and other stuff. There are softwares like Grammarly and other things that are checking and other stuff. If they are not present, they need somebody to do some proofreading for them. Go and get that job and do it at a fee.
Just do it, guys. Just do it.
Just do it
Just
at
do
a
it.
fee,
Just do it.
and you
Just
make
do
the
it.
money. You
Yeah.
make the money. You make the money. You make the money.
So we've said a
So
lot of things. We've
plenty.
said so much. We've talked about how you can find your purpose. We've
Yeah.
talked about when the right time is for you to leave your 9 to 5. We've talked about how you can cope in a toxic environment. We've talked about how you can build on your experience. We've talked about the fact that you should not stay in a toxic environment and die. So
Save your time.
with everything we've said today, I would want to take Mr. Ajete's very last comments and then we'll wrap all this up. With everything we've learned, go on and become better people. So please, your last words.
Thank you, Jackie, and thank you for your cherished listeners and your audience. I want to say to whoever is listening this evening that you are not in this life to help other people succeed. You are here because you have a role to play in the success of this our earth and our universe. Do whatever it takes to identify that thing which you're supposed to do. Get help. And when you find that thing, pursue it with everything you have. In doing so, you will live meaningfully. By all means, get knowledge. Young people, by all means, get a skill. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 29, Jackie, I have to add that one. It says, have you seen anyone who is diligent at what they do? Said they will stand before kings and not ordinary people. If you are diligent with what you have, you are skilled at what you do, whether it is 9 to 5 or working for yourself, the Bible says you will stand before kings and not ordinary people. The only one that can limit you is you. Don't just follow the crowd because everybody is moving towards a direction. Listen to your inner self. Talk to people who are ahead of you. Get good counsel from them. And I can assure you that your life will be good. By all means, I will place working for yourself far above working for someone else. But if you are working for someone else today, take advantage of it as a training ground. Get all the experience and master the skills you have. And if the timing is ready for you, please don't wait. Start now and start today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Today, we've learned, we've been motivated. I don't know, tell me in the comment section rather quickly which part was your favorite. I think what he said about emotional intelligence and how to cope in a toxic environment, and then, of course, working for yourself above working for, all that. Yeah, it really got to me. And thank you so much. Thank you for tapping your screens. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for listening. And thank you for staying with us right up until this time. This has been Candid Chat with Jackie. Thank you so much, Pastor Ajeti Ajay,
And thank you for
the
having me.
only pastor in the diaspora.
Yes, yes, yes,
Your
yes.
people
I'll come home.
from
I'll come home.
European, you will come again?
I'll come home.
Okay.
Yeah.
uh, all of you who joined from Ghana Ports and Harbors, all of you who joined from European Town Assembly of the Apostolic Church, thank you guys. And then to my very own people, I see Florence, I see Seska, I see Claudia, Genevieve. Thank you all for joining. It's been great. It's been a fantastic learning session. Next week, we are back. We are getting into the love season. So, guess what? We have some amazing topics set in place, and I can't wait to bring all of that to you. Please do follow me if you're not following. And before you go, please tap on your screens, show me some love, and that's it. So, thank you, Mensima. Thank you, Mami Dede. Thank you, to Obiba Parkway. I see some messages. I'll read them after here. But please, I've taken so much of your time. Please do have an awesome week as you go into your new week, whether you are working in 9 to 5 or you are working for yourself. Please,
Like,
whatever
my
you do.
European town people are here. Shout out to all of them.
Yay, shout out to you too. Yeah, so as you go into the new week, whether you're a 9 to 5 or you work for yourself, please be diligent. I guess that's all that matters. That's the end of the matter. Until next week, it's been Candid Chat with Jackie. My name is Jackie Hansen. See you. Bye.